Why don't more people plan about succession?
That's an excellent question. What's interesting is the entrepreneurs that are so successfully creative in planning their startup, planning the growth, planning the capitalizing and expanding their companies over time, spend almost no time planning an exit strategy. And which is unfortunate, because that's where they're going to reap all of the benefits and the return on what is probably their most significant asset, which is their business.
Okay. So we were talking earlier, you had a couple of examples of people who you've been working with on planning because they didn't plan particularly. So why don't you talk about those couple of examples?
Sure. One example is a client that actually we have suggested that she go to the market. Actually, she wanted to take her business to the market. And this all began when her husband unfortunately died of a heart attack very unexpectedly as a 60-some-year-old man. He was totally in charge of this company. They have about 30 employees. She was active in the business only as a side kind of in the bookkeeping area. Very peripherally. Anyway, so she's left with a very growing and going concern, not wanting to be at the helm, not having a general manager in place. Her husband was the management team, basically. So we step in there, and the good news is that she was able to rally emotionally and intellectually, and follow some guidance from her advisors, and really do what she needed to do. Unfortunately, it wasn't planned out.
So let's step back here. You said that here was somebody who had a heart attack when they were in their early 60s, and they passed on, and the wife was left the business, and she wasn't particularly ready for this. If you would have had your ideal situation as being an exit advisor here, when would you have liked this person to come to you?
We suggest that it's probably a 5-year process to really optimize all the things that you can do to plan your exit. Certainly any time prior to, I want to get out of this next Friday, is good. But 2 to 5 years, up to 10 years. I mean, a lot of our business owners are planning that far in advance.
So it would have been, a really good idea for this person to have come to see Ted or somebody like Ted 10 or 15 years even before, the inevitable. And I think that he was probably a little bit naive, not even wanting to confront the inevitable. But an idea to think about as far as your business is to step back and say to yourself, if something happened to me today, what would I do?